It helps relationship also help us to express emotion and to develop social skills, right? Relationships will also foster health or well-being because they help us to keep fear and anxiety a more manageable or regulated emotional state, right? So those are different benefits we can get, from relationships, and we'll look more into that as we will read further, but the question is, with all these benefits that we have listed here, not everybody necessarily sees it that way, like I said earlier, based on different encounters people have had, they've learned to see relationship other than what it really is, right? And also that general, and also sometimes culture is an issue, what has become the norm around us, right? So and some of this is because of this, because of the way we're damaged by life, we tend not to give the relationship the benefit or the power it carries, and we tend to want to defend ourselves, right? Want to hold ourselves back, and we think that we're keeping ourselves from danger, but we're also keeping ourselves from the benefit of relationship, right? So a story was told by David Foster Wallace, right, at a commencement address at Kenyon College in 2005, and it was about two small fishes swimming together, and an adult fish meets them and asks them about how is the water, and they didn't understand. They were confused by the question, right? No one has ever told them that the environment in which they were was water, right? They are just taking the water in which they swim for granted. How much, we all take that for granted. We all need oxygen around us. Imagine someone coming to you and saying, how is the oxygen? Which oxygen? Oh, we will not be alive without the oxygen that's freely around us to breathe, right? And when we don't know that, then we don't do things to benefit us, because if we are truly aware of the oxygen, we'll plant more trees rather than having to have a concrete in every corner. We'll seek for more greenery, because the more greenery you have around it, the more fresh the environment is, because the more oxygen, is allowed to be around you, and the more carbon dioxide is taken away. But we seemingly take that for granted because it's just available. So that was the essence of the story. Those small fishes didn't know what water was because they were just taking it to be normal, right? And sometimes that's the place of relationship. We all assume relationship as normal. We overlook the benefit, of right relationships in our lives. That's why we all carried away with gadgets today, spend times on gadgets rather than talking to someone else. You get on the ride and the first thing you're looking at is your phone, rather than engaging the people that you have the privilege of riding with, and missing probably the opportunity of a lifetime, of knowing what they can connect you with, what they can benefit you with, because we've so taken for granted what relationship is and the benefit of it. So this discussion is pretty much to integrate relationship in our lives, probably awaken the importance, in our mindset, in our consciousness, so that hopefully we can begin to latch on more into what benefits we can get, from it. So let's just I'm going to close this looking at some of these cultural influences here. Next week we'll look at some of the myths and a lot more, but not wanting to go past our 30 minutes plan, I'll just stay with the cultural influences for today to close out. So the important assumptions, value judgments, and practice that create, what are we, which is what I've already said, right? And Albert Einstein puts this quote. He says, everything that can be counted does not necessarily count, and everything that counts cannot necessarily be counted, so, and that's probably comes here with a relationship, it's not something you can really put numbers to. Oh, this 80% good, 20% good. And sometimes that's the reason why we take it for granted. We'd rather be more attracted to things we can count than the things we cannot count. But the things that are probably most important in our lives cannot be counted, and that's probably some reasons why we overlook them, right? So we tend to focus on what is most visible and most immediate, right? The value of relationship is ephemeral and hard to quantify, but things like money, achievements, social media followers can be counted, and that's what we miss it. I'm more after how many followers I have that I forget the reason for the followership. It's not about the followership, but what the followership would work out, right? The followership is about people that I can interact with. If all I have is the numbers that are growing and there's no interaction, then there's no benefit in it. One is my marriage community. When it first started, we had a lot of engagement. We had comments going into the thousands, right? We had people commenting and we could relate, I could stay all night, replying people. But somehow as we grew in number, those comments kind of dried up. I don't know why. I guess people didn't want to show, they didn't feel probably secure, sharing their private issues as the numbers grew. But that was sad for me, right? We grew up into the 100,000. And it's like the comments dried up, right? I would rather have stayed at 50,000 and kept the comments, the engagement, because it's not about the followership, it's about the relationship, it's about the rubbing of minds, it's about learning from one another, it's about the discussions, right? And that's what I'm trying to rebuild here, even though yeah, we're still at our number, we've come down a bit, but that's all I try to do in those communities, right? It's not about me being a star. It's not about me, it's about the engagement. I want to learn from all this just as much as I want to share what I have, but that's why I have all those communities. It's not a show off, and it's just to rub minds together and hopefully that we better one another, right? So it's not about the number, it's not about the achievements, it's about what we can get from it, right? So that's where I'm going to stop, because the next thing I have on my slide is talking about the meat of the foundation of the good of people thinking that money is what good life is all about. Going to, maybe I should take that. Maybe I should just take that. Yeah. Then let me spill that into next week. All right. So one of the meat here, just like I talked about followership, is people think the foundation of a good life is money, but people miss it from that point, right? That's why some people with poverty mentality just keep on grabbing. Money is useless. Money is not the essence of a good life. Right? The money is not for money itself. Money cannot be eaten. Money will not give you a good life, right? On its own, right? It is what money can do, not money itself. It's what money can do. If you don't know how to use money, you will not get a good life. You can have all the money in this world, but if you don't know how to use it right, you will not have a good life. So it's not about money, it's about how to use the money. It's not about the followership. It's about how to use the followership. It's not about the achievements. It's about how to use the achievements. It's what the achievements can do. It's what the money can do. It's what the followership can do. It's about the relationships that you can work out by reason of those things. In scriptures, Jesus Christ was talking up to people that had money. He said, use that money to win unto yourself, friends. Win people to yourself by reason of the money. The money itself is useless. You're not even going to take that money away past this life, all right? But what you can leave, the legacy you can leave, is the way you use that money, right? The way you use that money to bless people, to change lives, right? The more money you have, the more fake friends you have. Everybody wants to come to you as if they're your friends, but they're not your friends. They're the friends of the money. So if you're foolish enough to think that it's because of you they are coming, you're going to die miserable, right? It's about knowing how to use the money, right? Not just having the money, right? Aristotle puts this way. He says the life of money making is one undertaken under compulsion. And wealth is evidently not the good we are seeking for, right? It says wealth is not the good we are seeking for it is merely useful for the sake of something else, right? Is what the wealth can do, not the wealth itself. Just getting wealth will not make you happy. No, just getting wealth will not give you a good life. It's what you can use the wealth to do, right? Ben Franklin puts it this way. He says, money has never made man happy, nor will it. No, it's what you can do with it that will make you happy. Maya Angelou puts it this way. He says, don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue the things you love doing and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off you, right? It's what you do with it, right? Money can't buy happiness, but what you do with money can buy happiness, right? So more quotes as I close the session. So the Millman puts it this way. He says the journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination, right? It's not when I have 1 million, 2 million that I'll be happy. If I'm not happy today that I have 100,000, I will not be happy when I have the millions, right? It's the journey, not the destination. You have to learn to be happy, learn to use what's in your hand at every stage, point in time of your life. Is what you do with the money, not the money itself. The happiness is not something you design for tomorrow. It's something you design for today and every day of your life, right? Terry Pratchett puts it this way. He says the meaning of life is to find your gift. To find your gift is happiness, right? It's about finding why you are here, what you are endowed with, and how to use it, how to be a blessing, how to live the essence of your being, right? That is where happiness comes from. And lastly, Christopher Morley puts it this way. He says, there's only one success. And it says there's only one success: to be able to spend your life in your own way, right? That's what money does. Money buys you quiet. Money buys you the experience. Money buys you the ability to do things in your own way, right? So it's not money. Money is not going to give you happiness, but it's your ability to use the money well, right? All right, that's all I got for today. I'm going to end it here. Hope you got something from it. It's still reading through a book. The first part in chapter 2, we're going to continue next week, reading into it. And all we're trying to learn here is relationship, how to use relationship, the right quantity and quality of relationship to be able to live a good life, a happy life, a healthy life, right? All right, so I'm done here. I'll see you the same place next week, God willing. All right, enjoy yourself. Have a good one. Have a great week ahead of you. God bless you. Bye-bye.